Welcome, everyone. It is Tuesday night, Just a Bit Outside radio show live on the air. You're checking us out on Facebook, on YouTube. Share that link, share that love. You got Keisha, you got Mark. Keisha, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on, outsiders? Fresh off the holiday weekend. Even though I feel like, I don't know, there isn't really a whole lot to celebrate. America's been bad.
No fireworks.
But I am here. It is Tuesday, and me and Mark are so happy to announce that we have a guest tonight. And I don't even know if we can really call this person a guest because she's such a regular on the show now. And if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, it's the Jana Brooks. And yes. And not only is it the Jana Brooks, sports extraordinaire, but now president and CEO doing big things with a new business endeavor, Blue Cardinal Events. But we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But Jana, thank you for calling in. How you doing, hon?
I'm doing good. It is always a pleasure and an honor and a privilege to be one of your outsiders live. Well, thank you for having me back.
Yeah, you're always busy, I'm glad you had a few moments to set aside and chill with me and the homie Mark, man. I know that you stay on the move. You know, if anybody follows Jana on social media, it's like, damn, when does this girl must have a clone, because she's just everywhere all the time. I don't see where she has time to sleep, yo. For real.
I do my best, but anything for y'all, and you know that.
Already. Hey, Mark, man, how was your holiday weekend, bro?
It was chill. I can't complain.
Do you still have all of your fingers?
Oh, yeah. I didn't partake in the launching of fireworks this year. I've done that in the past, but I just kind of like relaxed and just watched some. Took a nice little drive.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, we at the Alexander Cave, we like to blow stuff up. We love to blow shit up, but the professionals took this holiday off, man.
What?
Yeah, we didn't do much at all. I mean, Jimmy's birthday. Shout out to my brother Jimmy. His birthday was on Saturday. Yeah. We did do a little. Yeah, we did a little drinking and a little cooking out and whatnot. And then, we had last week's guests, Aaron and Brandon, through the hip hop bar crawl Saturday night. I went there, man. Mark, it was like insane. I mean, it was a hip hop overload, man. And remember how we talked about the one particular DJ, the one that closed out the evening?
Yeah,
Farrah Fawcett.
A chick from DC or something?
Yeah, Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Farrah. Yeah, I met Farrah before.
Yeah, man. Jana, she closed out. It was four spots. El Boogie and I went to the last three, but the last spot was at a spot called the Garage. Shout out to Derek Chase. But they had Farrah Fawcett on the ones and twos, and it was I believe it was the Neptunes versus Kanye West. So I mean, it was pretty much banger after banger. I gotta shout out my dude Aaron, because he allowed me the opportunity to come on stage and meet Farrah and her little entourage, and it was completely cool and lots of fun, man. So, I got my drink on. I got my two-step on. I was doing the damn thing.
That's nice.
Yeah, man.
I've always wanted to do a bar crawl.
Yeah, yo. Okay, so here's the thing about bar crawls. If you do one after 30, you gotta you gotta plan. You gotta have a plan for this joint, okay? Aaron and Brandon's bar crawl. I think it started at like 3:00. Was it like 3:30, Mark? I believe so.
Something like that.
And it was 4 different stops, and it didn't end until 11. Now, I'm in the 40 and over crew. Now, I don't know anybody in their right mind that would do more than 4+ hours of drinking, let alone like 7.5. And so, I was looking at some pictures online. There were some people that was at the first two joints that I did not see, at the third and fourth stops. I mean, there were some people there from the third and fourth stops that weren't at the first two. I mean, you got to be smart about this type of thing, because, day drinking and the night drinking never ends well.
Nope. You talking about your age? Like at the first stop was like your first drink of gin and Metamucil or something?
Man, let me tell you, the first stop was at a depot, which was one of my stomping grounds in the 20s.
I got a friend that bartends there.
Yeah, oh, really? Yeah, man, it was a nice spot. I used to go to a lot of parties there back in my 20s. So, I was being very strategic and smart about it. I knew if I went to the first stop, I would, start feeling all nostalgic and shit, and I would get to drinking early, and by the time I would, the third stop, I would legit be face down in the muck. So I foregoed. I didn't go to the depot, but yeah, man. I mean, there's just so much drinking and God, like I said, if anybody drinks for 6-7 hours, that never ends well. So yeah, man, I just came in for. Yeah, and it was hard enough pacing it with 2 venues. I mean, cheese and crackers. Bar crawl is just real championship drinking, and I don't know if I'm built like that anymore. My recovery time is just, it takes entirely too long. I don't know about you, Jana, because I mean, you seem like you're always on the move. You're always at a party or a convention or visiting somebody's stadium. I mean, what's your recovery time like these days? Mine's 2 days.
It takes a little bit longer, but it all depends on how. First of all, I know my limit, so I'm gonna cut myself off before I'm messy. Like I get to I'm nice. Okay, this is nice. I can ride this out. And then it might entail staying in the bed till noon the next day. But and sometimes pushing my way through it. But yeah, the 6 or 7 hour thing. Yeah, that was done in my 20s. I'm past that point now. I don't know.
Right.
As much as I want to try alcohol, I think I'll have to do it as strategically as you were talking about the other people going to 1 and 3 or 2 and 4 or 1 and 4. Like I don't know if I could do just every stop, but I still want to do one.
Oh yeah,
I just gotta take off the next day.
Yeah. If you're a major key, you should take off the next 2 days. But big shout out to Aaron and Brandon, man. I had a great time, and the bar call was seriously, it was everything. I never pass up an opportunity to cut a rug. You know what I mean?
I know that's right.
Hell yeah.
The trick is you gotta hydrate.
Yeah. You definitely have to drink in between joints for drink water. And when I say drink, I mean water. Drink water in between, man, because it's pretty real. Struggle can get real out there, man. Yeah. Hell yeah. So, what else is going down this weekend? There was, it's 4th of July holiday weekend. We all know that there is a very special contest that goes down this time every year. It is the hot dog eating contest. What is it, Nathan's, Mark?
Nathan's, yep.
Yeah. So freaking disgusting.
Oh, yeah,
I think I probably watched 2 in my life, and every time I choke back vomit. Every time I watch it, and I know that we have some legends. There's a Kobayashi. Then there's this Joey. Was it Joey Chestnut guy? Yeah, man, Joey Chestnut, dude. And this year was extra eventful. Did you hear about the drama that was going down there?
No. I know Chestnut was going for 16 in a row or something like that, but I didn't hear about drama.
Yeah, okay. Well, apparently, during this hot dog eating contest, there was some protesting going on. Okay? So, did you hear about this, Jana? What was the protesting about?
I did. I don't recall I don't recall what it was about, but I do know whoever it was. I think they were dressed in black and had like a black sign, and like jumped up in the middle of the what was it? I guess it was 2 or 3 contestants.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't the dude? And I forgive me because I don't know their names. But the dude was like mid-chew, like he was like
Joey Chestnut. Yes.
Yes. I wasn't sure if it was him or not, but yeah, so like he's in the middle of action that goes on that we don't know anything about. We got some attention to the hot dog eating contest.
Right. Okay, so this guy who apparently was, I guess, he was holding a sign that said, expose the Smithfield Death Star. Now, Mark, you know I love a Star Wars reference. Okay, so this is what caught my attention off the top. So Smithfield is a major food processing company. Man, these people are really going off about food lately. Remember how we talked about the whole thing in Minnesota with the chickens?
Yeah.
And the people that kept interrupting the playoffs, the NBA playoffs? Oh, yeah. So now we mad at Smithfield, apparently, which is a company out of Smithfield, Virginia, specializing in pork products. And as you know, I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but Nathan's are all beef franks. So, I don't know. I guess they thought it was a good time to be like, stick it to the pig. I have no idea. But apparently this guy, with this sign, jumps up in the middle of the hot dog eating contest, as this guy, as the guy, I think he's a champion too, last year's champion, Joey Chestnut, as he's on his way to eating his 63 freaking hot dogs. That is so, oh my gosh, so disgusting. As he's like chilling on his way to victory, this jackass jumps up in the middle of the competition, and he's choking out. Now he's choking out the protester as he's chomping on his food. Now, this could have went really, really bad. Joey Chestnut could have choked to death. This guy could have had an attempted murder rap. But I mean, Joey Chestnut, as he's eating, he chokes the guy out. He L's the guy out. He's this hero. Then he goes on to win the hot dog eating competition. That's like a major WTF, booty up and come through, all wrapped in one. That was a 3-for-1, dog. It's completely insane.
He's not only a competitor, he's a champion. You see it happen on the soccer pitch or on baseball fields, like when people come down and jump down and you see the players chasing them. That's exactly what Joey had to do.
Yo, man, let me just tell you, he just put the guy in like a straight up, like half Nelson and was just going to town, man. It was great. It was really great to watch. Big shout out to Joey Chestnut, man, hot dog hero. And for real, I always wonder about the after effects after eating, like any of those kind of eating competitions, whether it's hot dogs or pies, all that stuff that went in has got to eventually come out in some type of fashion, right? Do you throw that up? Do you spend a couple of hours in the John? Like, man, that's just, I mean, how do you think that works out? Yeah, man. Do you take, what do you call it, laxative or something like that? Do you take one of those stool salts? That cannot be healthy. Think about it, 63 freaking hot dogs and buns just sitting in your stomach, man. That's,
well, you see what they do with the buns, right, when they're eating them?
They dip them in, water or some shit, right?
To soften it up.
Yeah, and I think that's even more disgusting. Seriously, just the whole dipping of the hot dog, of the bun is. Oh, first of all, who the hell likes soggy bread? Who can eat bun after bun of smushy, soggy bread? Who likes that? Who enjoys that? I don't understand.
It's not about liking it. It's about the winning the title. That mustard belt.
No, man, you gotta like that shit to take down 63 of those jokers. You have to have some type of affinity towards the taste or something. You have to. That's the only way that you can do something like that.
Those competitive eaters, they're like insane. They'll train, like they say, like in the weeks before the competition, like they'll eat to expand their stomach. Like they don't eat to get full; they eat to like specifically expand their stomach. There's a chick, I can't remember her name, but like she's the chicken wing champion, and she's like rail thin. You wouldn't believe it.
Really?
Yeah. Short. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just so rough. It's always, like I said, I've only watched 2, and every time I seriously fucking choke back vomit because it's just so insane to watch, man. So insane to watch. So, we go from one champion to another champion. Sue Bird was in town to come play against the Washington Mystics. This is Sue's last season, right? So, I mean, she's kind of having her farewell tour, right?
Yeah.
I believe so. I mean, at 41 years old, I think this is kind of it. You know what I mean? I mean, she's been in the league for 19 years, man, and just what an illustrious career. Not just in college basketball and in the WNBA, but abroad as well. I mean, she's got gold medals like a mug, right? Yep. And with this weekend. And like I said, this particular season, I mean, she's kind of having, like, I don't even know, this kind of Benjamin Button of, like, career. I mean, she's kicking ass this year, and over the weekend, with her wins over the weekend, Sue Bird becomes the winningest player in WNBA history, man. Like, I mean, she's won titles in 3 different decades. How many people can say that?
Yeah.
Not many.
That's insane, man.
Not many. Hell yeah. Big shout out to Sue Bird, yo. And I wanted to check the game out because, normally Washington Mystics games are dirt cheap. But this particular weekend, I mean, she was here on Sunday. I went to look up the tickets, and it was just totally like, oh, hell no, you're not going anywhere. The tickets were like astronomical, and rightfully so, man. Because I mean, she's a legend. She's an absolute legend. So big up to Sue Bird with yet another accomplishment for a very illustrious career, very illustrious career. And that's the first, I guess. The second come through for the night. Telling you who's not coming through. America with this Griner situation, man. I mean, do you have any updates on like what's going on with this, Mark? I know that she wrote President Biden a letter. Did you happen to read or hear any details as to what the letter was about?
Well, it's funny that you asked because actually I just brought up an article that does have a bit of an update. But basically she hand wrote a letter to President Biden, saying to not forget about her and the other American detainees there in Russia. Of course, we know that she was arrested. What was it? February? Mid-February?
Yeah.
She didn't have marijuana per se, but it was like a marijuana product.
Cartridge or something like that?
Like a vape cartridge or something like that. And she's been detained the whole time. I heard her trial started, but I haven't heard any updates on that. But the letter, I guess she got it into the hands of her media team, her representatives here stateside. It got to President Biden on Monday, and today some White House officials have updated and said that Biden has read the letter. We haven't heard, anything more beyond that yet, though.
Yeah, she's been she's been detained in Russia for like a little over 130 days, I believe.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a really long time. I've seen some pictures of her. I mean, dude, she looks well. She looks stressed out. It's just a really unfortunate situation for just a minuscule, just to me, a minor offense, a minuscule amount of weed, and it's just what a heartbreaking story. I believe the WNBA, the All-Star game, is going to be going down soon. They have made her, Mark, I believe we talked about this, right? They've made her an honorary All-Star.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
And, she hasn't really been able to talk to her wife. She hasn't been able to, I don't believe she hasn't been able to talk to her on the phone. She hasn't been able to talk to her via Zoom or anything like that. I believe the only people that she has been able to talk to, and they've been transferring messages and back and forth and whatnot, is her legal team. Isn't that right, Mark?
That's what I heard.
Do I have that right? Yeah. Just a really, really rough situation that I feel. I mean, I don't know about you, Jane. I feel like this is just going on entirely too long.
I do think that, but I'm wondering, do you think that the timing had anything to do with it? Do you think that they would have held her this long for such a minor, or in our eyes, minor offense, if it wasn't literally right as the Ukraine and Russia started beefing? Like,
it's hard not to think that, right? It's hard not, and Mark, I believe we discussed this. Yeah, we discussed this when it originally happened, didn't we?
Yeah, we sure did. Yeah.
It's just, go ahead, yeah.
They know who they have, and they know, that it's political in nature. Like, if it wasn't, I don't know. I guess they take it really seriously over there, like their prohibition on pot. But, you got to wonder, like, if it was an average citizen like me or you, would it have gone on this long?
130 days, 130 days. I can't believe that it has. And then also too, like Jana said, to echo that with the timing and everything like that. Like, I mean, it was like, a gift. Not from our perspective, but from Russia's perspective, a gift just dropped in their lap with this minor offense, and they literally took it and ran with it, man. I mean, it's just, like I said, just such a disheartening story, and super scary. Super scary, because I believe in the letter, she disclosed some feelings that she may never come back again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's disheartening. How do you not feel that way? Because then they missed her initial phone call.
Yeah, something happened. It was like some type of screw up, which it sounded like complete bullshit to me, for real.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And how do you not? I mean, especially with no contact. I'm not saying that it would be necessarily, a complete turnaround if she did have contact. I mean, but you're sitting there by yourself in a foreign country, don't know the language, don't know, we don't know we don't know the conditions. Like, heck yeah, she's in her right to feel that way.
Yeah, we have a couple of, go ahead, Jana.
No, finish. You have a couple of what? Go ahead.
We have a couple of comments. And I think some people are echoing your sentiment. You were getting ready to say that it's sad. I have a few. What's up, Professor? He says, I think she's being used as a political pawn, which is the same kind of sentiments that Mark just put out there. And I mean, come on, enough. To me, it's just enough is enough. I'm not really sure what President Biden can do at this point, because other than, he could most certainly I guess, deploy some troops or something like that. But I mean, that's a whole lot. But to me, a trip over there shouldn't be out of the question.
Well,
Yeah.
Jana brought it up. It was around the same time that Russia invaded Ukraine, and we've issued some sanctions on them for that invasion. You gotta believe, like, Putin and his people, they've got to be thinking like they're using Brittany as a pawn, like we said, so that when Biden does eventually go to them and say, "What do we need to get her back?" they're gonna say, "Drop the sanctions."
Yeah.
And I honestly believe I don't feel like that they're just they meaning I have to say government officials as a whole, because I don't know who would be involved in this besides Biden, but I can't believe it. I can't imagine them just sitting around twiddling their thumbs, even though there's a hell of a lot going on in this country right now that needs
it really is.
But I just can't see them not doing anything, and I feel the same way that Mark feels. Like you can't, you have to you got to look for the non-obvious, and that is, well, not non-obvious. I mean, it is kind of obvious, but it's just crazy. It's so unfortunate. But if you're vaping, don't go to some strange ass country that don't take.
Yay!
Like, the first thing. So because I am naive to the whole thing, I don't smoke, I don't vape, I don't do anything. So I don't think I fully grasped how crazy this was until she really, I'm like, they really not letting this girl go. Like, what is going on right now? And so I'm kind of like, I wonder, does this send a message to everybody that does vape and travel and thinks that they can do this or that and the third? And granted, I know that Russia's a completely different animal than, I don't know, Jamaica or something. But you don't really know what you're taking other places that is, I don't know, disrespectful to them or whatever the term.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't really know what you're doing.
Basically, you're taking a gamble when you're dealing with, when you're bouncing around in somebody else's country and dealing with their rules. And that's the reality of the situation. That's the reality of the situation. You definitely are. This certainly isn't the first American to go to a foreign country and get caught up and have to deal with a harsh penalty. Remember, what was it, Mark? I'm pretty sure you remember this. That kid that went to one of those countries and was defacing the flag or something like that. And they wanted to, and it was a white kid. He was like a teenager, probably in college, and they were talking about maybe caning him or something like that.
They did cane him. Yeah.
They did cane him. Okay, I can't remember what the guy's name was or where he was, but it was like a third world country. And a lot of people here was just like, oh my gosh, wasn't that big of a deal, but, they took it, whatever area he was in, they caned this guy, took it very seriously. Yeah. So, unfortunately, like we said, Brittany Griner is dealing with this same, is dealing with a very, to me, a very harsh sentencing. And, honestly, when this thing is all said and done with, the possibility of the matter is that she could be there for 10 years. Man, she's been gone for about 4 or 5, about 3 or 4 months. And she looks rough now. So, I know she cannot even fathom doing 10 years. 1 year, let alone 10 years, in Russia, of all freaking places. Like you said, definitely ain't Jamaica, dog. Not to make light of the situation, but, so, the trial is officially underway. And we will all be, hoping and praying and calling on all our prayer warriors for a positive outcome, man. And honestly, like a swift trial. What the hell else do you have to say other than, okay, she walked in the airport, she tried to get on the plane, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully this is not something that they will try to drag out.
So real quick, before you change the subject, did you ever see that there was like a rumor that it was planted?
No, Mark, did you hear about that?
I haven't heard that. No.
I'm trying to remember. Okay, now I gotta remember where I saw it.
I'm pretty sure there's some conspiracy theorists out there that I'm pretty sure there's one or two. But I've not heard about that. I'm gonna have to look that one up offline.
Let me not put rumors out there.
Yeah, no. I mean, we'll have to update everyone next week with that one. Because I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. Russia, they be on some shady shit lately. Yeah.
So wrong.
So crazy. But we're gonna keep it moving to talking about drama, protesters and whatnot. Mark, have you heard about, and I'm asking you because I know that you kind of keep up with the movies and the comic books, even though these aren't really comic books. But what is the deal with this GentleMinions? Have you heard about that?
Oh yeah, the GentleMinions. You know.
So I know the Minions is part of the whole Despicable Me franchise. I mean, everybody loves Gru. How can you not love Gru? How can you not love Steve Carell? But what is going on with the GentleMinions? Apparently, there's some drama with that, some protesting. I mean, God, we are just a mad people nowadays. Everybody's mad about something.
No.
And no, they're not mad, because I heard that they're taking it out of some of the theaters.
It's not protesting. I don't know where you heard that. That's crazy.
Okay, so what's going on?
So, you know, Despicable Me released, I don't even know how many years ago. We're on Minions 2. And the kids that watched Despicable Me as a kid are now young adults and maybe even early, like, 20s. So, you know how you are at that age. Like, you're reliving stuff that you experienced as a kid, and you want to celebrate.
Excuse me. I would like to know. I don't mean to cut you off, but I have to correct you on that. You know how it is to be that age? No. We know how it was for us to be 20. We don't know that these newfangled showed this new strand of child running around now. We don't know what it's like to be their 20. We had sense when we were 20. I just want to go on record.
I had zero effing sense when I was 20. I know that. I was
carry on.
But yeah, so like they're going to the movies now. They're not accompanied by their parents anymore. They're just doing their thing. And there's these people that either dressing up in yellow shirts and overalls to look like the Minions, or there's people dressing up in a suit and tie to look like Gru. And it kind of started as just like kind of like a cosplay-ish kind of thing, fun thing.
Okay.
It kind of turned Rocky Horror, and people like brought the. I'm sure you've seen the movie, the early Despicable Me. They have the fart gun, so like they'd bring the fart guns and they'd shoot those off at certain times. Bananas are associated with Minions. They started throwing bananas at the screen, and that got a little bit too much.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me, I would like to return back to my point.
Yes, Jana, I was just about to say the same thing. Go ahead, baby. Bring that right back around.
What the hell? The good hell. Okay, I'm sorry, Mark. I'm not going to cut you off no more. Go ahead.
So we throwing bananas at the screen now? Okay.
And that's where like it got to be a problem, because these screens now, they're high tech and stuff, and screens were getting damaged. So we had instances pretty much really all across the world, because I've heard it happening in England too, where theaters are denying people dressed in the GentleMinions, like in the suit and tie. There's lots of screenings, like when it started getting out of hand, they kicked everyone out of the theater. No refund, because you all were acting like assholes.
Yeah, I mean, it's seriously, come on, yo. I mean, doing little TikToks in the middle of the freaking movie.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you right now. Let me tell you, parents, so you can filter this down to your precious little babies. If you freaking do a TikTok near me when I'm trying to watch, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add in the tax and snacks and shit. As I done spent my $35-$40 to watch and enjoy this movie. You're catching the elbow to the throat, dog. You're catching the elbow to the freaking throat, man. Because this is getting out of hand. And somebody's got. I gotta agree with Jana. Dude, I wasn't doing this shit. Come on, man. I mean, we used to get excited for stuff. You know what I mean? Like The Matrix. That was a big craze. You know, we loved to dress up like Neo and all of them. And there was an appropriate time. It was called Halloween. That's when we loved to get all weird and shit. But like, every day, I mean, it's getting out of hand. I gotta agree with Jane on this one, man. It's weirdo stuff.
Mark, I don't care what kind of shenanigans you used to get into. You were not. So I don't think that you deserve to put yourself in that category. You do not get to go in that category.
I think that's where it becomes an issue of a few bad ones spoiling it for the rest. Because not every single screening had people overindulging and clapping and to obnoxious levels. Not every screening had people throwing bananas. Really, all I've heard is one screening where the screen was damaged by people throwing bananas. And now, because of that one screening, there's people banned all across the country for wearing the suit. So I think for the most part, 99.999999% of these people were doing it just to have fun and because they were excited. Like you said, when you were 20, you were excited for stuff. But these .00001 are the ones that ruined it for everyone.
Yeah, that's just insane. I mean, just keep her crazy in your own space, man. That's all I got to say. That's all I'm going to say to that. Just keep her crazy in your own space.
I do want to.
You know what I mean?
I have a special announcement. I am looking at the comments.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Jana, this is your mom.
Oh. Wait, what? Yes, you heard that correctly. Jana, this is your mom. That's what the comments. What happened? I can't see the comment.
If I even thought you would have done anything like that, your blank would have been mine and your father's, which I have no doubt. Which is why I hit that stuff really well for my parents.
I will like that comment because, first of all, I just found the comment. But I'm going
to like that one too.
I'm loving it.
Number one, it would never occur to me to be, not only, and I saw somebody else's comment right before, I just went away for some reason. The destruction of property, but just like, how is that fun?
Right.
I do not get it.
And you know what's so crazy? Like, with all the technology and everything that we have now, with going live and cell phones and whatnot. Now, if this was back in the day, and I would have did some shit like that back in the day, the news, because, back in the day, it took a whole village. You know what I mean? You didn't have to just look out for your parents. You had to look out for everybody else's parents. You had to look out for people that knew your mom and dad and whatnot. If I would have done anything like this in the movie theater, the news would have traveled faster than the speed of light, faster than anything that's out there today. And I would have had an ass whooping waiting for me upon my arrival at home. It would have gotten back to my folks before I even got home, dog. You know what I'm saying? You didn't need a live. You know what I mean? All you needed was the network. All you needed was the village. and like Jana's mom said, man, that ass would have been my folks as well had I done anything like that. I don't even know if I would have made it out the house dressed as a minion for real, and it not be Halloween. Oh man, that is hilarious. But shout out to all of the parents, man. That's trying to do good, man. I mean, these kids, they're just TikTok. It's just ruined everything. I really feel like TikTok has ruined everything. You can't go anywhere or do anything without a TikTok. It's insane, man. Insane. So, we got all our little talking outside of the realm. We're going to keep things just a bit outside tonight. Like we said, we got Jana in the building and on the line. Jana, I'd like to talk about Blue Cardinal Events, which is, like I said earlier in the show, one of your more recent business endeavors. You've been kind of jamming for almost a year now. I know it's been quite the journey to get Blue Cardinal Events up and running. So why don't we just briefly go over exactly what Blue Cardinal Events is and familiarize our outsiders with what you do.
Actually, if you want to check your text messages, it appears we lost Jana, so I don't know if you want to try to get her back.
Okay, all right.
But while you're getting Jana back on the line, I'm gonna shift.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna shift things over because this past week we had a huge upheaval in the college football world and in college sports in general. USC and UCLA bolting to the Big Ten, and on the East Coast here, I'm sure people look at it and know it's a huge thing, but for me, it's incredibly personal. I grew up in the Pac-10 era, going to Arizona games. I've been to USC games, UCLA games. And it's wild to think about that they're leaving to the Big Ten. I still can't wrap my head around it. And I used to work at USC, so I have that personal connection there too. I did text a former coworker, and they said kind of, I forget, dumbfounded, or everyone was awestruck. No one saw this coming. No one in the world of sports saw it coming. And it's just wild to me to think about. And like I said, I grew up going to Pac-10 games. And I am kind of devastated because I really don't see any way the Pac-12 survives this. Unless somehow they broker a merger with the Big 12 or something like that. Everyone's talking about the Big 12 because SEC and Big 10 are the super conferences now, and if the Pac-12 wants to stay relevant, they gotta merge with that or lose schools. There's already talk about Oregon, Washington, maybe Stanford leaving to the Big 10.
Really?
Yeah, they've got to get the rest of the schools in line and say, even if they brought in Boise State, even if they brought in San Diego State, there's absolutely no way they could compete.
They're not big enough. Yeah. I mean, Boise State, they're trying. I mean, they're progressive. They're progressively growing. I feel like every season. But man, I mean, San Diego State. I mean, it's just not enough. And honestly, you lose Oregon, you lose Stanford. That's just it. That's a kill strike.
Yeah, absolutely. And San Diego State, they're a good program. They're not top tier. No. I won't say they're not top tier. I think they're amazing at producing NFL players, but they're not a program that you're looking to be in national contention for.
Correct.
And even
to me, that's the very essence of top tier. Honestly.
Yeah. And even if they were to try to get Gonzaga in for the basketball doesn't bring in nearly as much money as football.
It's football, correct.
But it's wild. I'm anxious to see what happens, but also I don't. Because I can't see the Pac-12 surviving.
Yeah. And Mark, I think we talked a little bit about it a few days ago. This shift in teams with the conferences. It's interesting, but it's also a little disheartening as well. When Maryland left the ACC, you just knew that conference, and who else left the ACC? Was Maryland the only one? I feel like there was another.
I feel like there's another.
Yeah, another program. But when it came to basketball, I mean, the ACC, it's not the same anymore.
Yeah.
And that's just with two schools, and as you said, Mark, basketball is nowhere near in comparison as big as college football is. But man, it's just it's just really. I mean, these are the Pac-12. We've grown up on that. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Losing the Pac-12, that is just really, really baffling to me, because I always looked at them as a pretty strong conference.
Well, yeah, they have been, but I think especially like the last 5 years or so, and I know we talked about it not too long ago, but when the other conferences were expanding, and when they added Colorado and Utah, I wanted them to like go up to 16 teams, because that was the rumor at the time.
Yeah.
And they just didn't go anymore. They haven't added any more since then, while the Big Ten was. And it's like they weren't even trying to compete. Now the latest rumors say that USC and UCLA were committed to leaving the Pac-12, even if the Big Ten didn't accept them.
Wow.
So, yeah, there are some severe problems at the top. I did read an article that suggested the Pac-12 president go to the founder of Nike, actually, and try to save it through him.
Drum up some support, or?
Yeah, he's a massive supporter of Oregon and
Oregon. Yeah, went to Oregon,
and he went to Stanford, both schools.
Okay, yeah.
And even though Oregon and Oregon State are competitors and rivals, like, he's done some things to support Oregon State. He grew up in the state of Oregon, and apparently, like, you know, I'll have to find the article and maybe send it to you or post it on the show page. But there are some really good points there, and if they can get him to back it, maybe they could survive. Maybe they could find a way. But like, they've got to add schools. There's no way around it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, like Mark said, I mean, that's something that's near and dear to his heart, and we'll definitely be keeping our outsiders abreast as the weeks goes on. You know, as far as the state of the Pac-12, and honestly, like I said, I mean, we've grown up watching. You know, we've seen a lot of fantastic athletes come from the Pac-12, and not just in football, but, you know, basketball as well. So, you know, in the time of dying conferences, man, it just hopes that, you know, they can, like you said, I mean, turn that thing around, you know, because that's definitely one that you don't want to lose. I feel like.
Yeah, for sure.
So, all right, so I think we got Jana back on the line. Baby, you back with us?
Yes, this goes back to the conversation about being 20 and whatever else. I can't work my AirPods, so I accidentally hung up when you trying to push the stupid thing back in my ear. So there's that.
Okay, well, while you were working out this modern technology,
maybe she can ask a GentleMinion to help her with her technology.
Oh, good God! we gave the introduction. You know, we told everybody. You know, you're definitely part of the Jabo squad. You have a new endeavor that you've been working on and promoting over the past, about 9-10 months now. It's not quite a year yet.
It has.
But I want you to give everybody a taste of what Blue Cardinal Events is, and what you guys offer. And don't forget your super awesome partner in crime too.
Absolutely. Shout out to Casey. I'm not sure if she is able to listen. She's currently working at her 9 to 5 right now. But yeah, absolutely. Blue Cardinal Events came up because she's always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't necessarily always see it for myself. I don't think I ever really thought about it. But my cousin, Van, shout out to Van Brooks, he saw us together. I was like, yeah, the synergy here, like the knowledge and the knowledge base and the context you guys have, like, you guys could be great. And so we kind of looked at each other like, okay, what could this be about? And so, you know, after months of going back and forth with like the foundational work, like are we going to be compatible in starting a business, and what do we believe of it, and what direction do we see it going in, and we are definitely well balanced. We are definitely a yin and yang when it comes to that those concepts, and we jumped out there and we started Blue Cardinal. The basic premise is we are an event management and consulting firm that can either consult you on your event, we can manage everything from nuts to bolts, or we can just come in on the day of and execute what you have already planned. The goal would be corporate clients, the team building activities, the corporate events, the galas, the fundraisers, the engagement events, type things, or team member engagement. That is the ultimate goal. But yeah, pretty much we got you covered from, everything from permitting to traffic planning to security to sustainability to, like your regular logistics, like how many tables fit around this, how many chairs fit around this round table, literally we run the gambit. So, yeah.
So what have you guys been doing lately? I know the last time we talked, there were some plans in the works for a field day. What have Blue Cardinal Events been up to as of late?
So unfortunately, that particular field day event we spoke to you about had to be postponed because of weather. So we have found, because it was supposed to be outdoors, it's basically to an homage to your elementary school field day. However, it would be adult games, adult, beverages would be involved.
Of course.
But yeah, not there's pickup games and things like that if you are so inclined. But yeah, so the goal, unfortunately, because it was going to be outside, and we had terrible storms that weekend. So there was no like moving it to the next day or anything like that. So we have found our ideal location so that we can host this twice a year, because it is meant to be one of our staple events, one that we do in the spring, summer, and one we do in the fall, winter. Nice. This particular venue is indoors. So we have like in the better weather, we could roll up the garage door and actually have air come in. We'll have vendors. We have this whole vision for it. We just have to secure the venue. And once that happens and we find a suitable date, then we will move forth and conquer with that. We were discussing making it our official launch as well. So that would be so it'll be our launch party. So you don't necessarily have to come out and be ready to do like a potato sack race or something random like that. You can just come out to support, to look around, take pictures, hear more about what we do, to partake in whatever our vendors are selling, things like that. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the full-on activity. But once you secure that, you will be the first to know.
All right. That's awesome. Do you guys have any other events that you're working on in the near future?
Right now, no, because our regular schedules are so hectic. So we're trying to do having clients. We do have a few clients in the pipeline right now, so we're just trying to finalize some details for their events. Hopefully, one or two of them will be public enough that we can say, "Hey, come out and see what we've done." That type of deal. But as of right now, we don't have one of our staple events just yet.
Okay. Look, Jana, I know you and Casey are Orioles fans. How you been loving that Adley Rutschman, man? Youngblood has really been coming through for the Orioles.
He is, and I know that she would have a lot more to say about this. I don't know if she's going to be able to join us in that.
No worries.
But yeah,
Orioles paying dividends on that, huh?
Absolutely. I think that he was I'm not saying anything against the players before he arrived, but I feel like he was just the injection of new and young and energetic and motivation and again, nothing against the team before he arrived, but I think he was just the new blood that they needed. And
definitely boosting the arm of a struggling team. Yeah, I mean, they've been marking. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but they've been one of the most winningest teams in the month of June. I mean, they went on that one stretch where I believe we had won like six. We had won 6 series in a row against opponents. And I mean, this weekend we took a couple of L's dealing with Minnesota and whatnot. But we really have been playing some fantastic baseball in the month of June, and you can't help but think that, like Jana said, I mean, kind of coincides with the arrival of Adley Rutschman, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. And for people that doubt the rebuild, this is also the first. This is also the first. June was the first winning month under Brandon Hyde as manager, so there's definitely been a lot of improvement. For like the last 3-4 weeks, pitching has been the 4th best pitching in all of Major League Baseball. Like, it's amazing stuff.
It's good stuff. Hell yeah.
And can I just add? Can I just add that we are up 4-0 right now? Just saying.
Yes, come through with the update. Come through, Orioles. That's right. We got the Texas Rangers in town. They came yesterday for the 4th of July game, first game of the series. I don't know if you guys followed any of that game, but you know, we watched. It went into extra innings, and the Orioles won it in 10th. I mean, it was one exciting game. It just looks like, you know, they're picking up on the energy of you know, coming back to the yard after a road stretch that was pretty tough.
Yeah.
So it looks like we're back on the good foot, man, with the Orioles and everything. I know that we have All-Star voting is in full swing. Last year we had Cedric Mullins representing, and we also had Trey Mancini was out there representing for the Orioles. You know, LeBron, what do you think the likelihood is that we'll have another player representing the 410 this year? Well, it's tough. I think it's tough this year.
Yeah, it's tough this year, which kind of sucks, but
yeah,
you know, we got some good years to look forward to, so we'll get like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players on in the future.
Yeah, and you know what? It's so crazy because I feel like we're doing better at this point this year than we were last year.
Oh yeah,
we are. It's crazy, you know what I mean? So you would think that we would have at least one, but you guys, listen, everybody in the 410 and in surrounding areas, man, come on, jump online. Do the All-Star voting. I believe you can do it as often as you'd like. You know, let's get some of those birds on that roster, man. I mean, you know, there's definitely some folks that are deserving. You know, Austin Hayes has been having a pretty decent season. So is Ryan Mountcastle, man, and you know, how can you not love Trey Mancini? I mean, he still to this day is still a really awesome, feel-good story, and he still continues to produce, man. So, you know, hopefully we will all come through and jump in and put those ballots in, man. Try to boost some of those Oriole players to the top of the All-Star voting.
I'm cheering for Santander.
Oh, yeah, yes. Yeah,
just because he's cute.
Yeah, you know, look, that's El Boogie's favorite player, and I solely think that's the only reason why she likes this guy.
Yeah. That's I got you.
Jana said that, you know, Santander is her favorite character too because he's cute. I said, yeah, I think that's the only reason why El Boogie likes him. She said, I got you. She got you low. Yeah, so you guys, yeah, go ahead. Cast some ballots for those Orioles, and let's try to get over to the All-Star game. Jana, for all of our outsiders out there that are listening, and those who may want to use your services, could you put your handles out there and let everybody know how to get in contact with you, how to follow you, how to stalk you online, all that good stuff?
Yes, absolutely. Our website is straight www.bluecardinalevents.com. It is it's spelled regularly. There's nothing fancy about it. BlueCardinalEvents.com. On our website, you will find links to our Twitter, to Instagram, as well as Facebook. So I prefer to give the website just because it's a one-stop shop for everything. But yeah, everything is basically at Blue Cardinal Events, except Twitter is the BCE Vibe, VIBE. That was only one I couldn't get Blue Cardinal Events for. But yeah, so just go to the website and you'll catch everything from there. And then there are also links to email Casey and I if there's any questions. There's a form to fill out if you have or know of a vendor that we could potentially use or hire for any one of our events, whether it's ours or for a client. So we are gladly accepting all referrals.
Okay.
Yeah, and any other things that come up, we have a newsletter now, so we send a newsletter out once a month and letting everybody know what's going on with us, whether it's what we've done that past month or what we're looking forward to in the upcoming month. But yeah, just hit us up at bluecardinalevents.com.
Nice. And thank you for that information. So, you guys, if you need these services, let me just tell you right now, Casey and Jana, they are professionals.
Yes, we are.
They know what they're doing. Yes, and when it comes to event planning, I'm telling you, there's nobody better than Jana. I mean, she has done so many different venues, so many different areas, worked with so many different clients, so she will definitely be able to, offer her expertise and to make your event that much better. So, make sure you check out Blue Cardinal Events for all of those type of services. Listen, Jay, I want to thank you so much for calling in and taking time, like I said, from your busy schedule. I know that Casey's out there at the yard handling her business.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask you before you left, are you going to be out there tomorrow? Because I'm going to the game tomorrow.
I might stay just so I can get a Keisha hug because it's been a while.
Yes, it has. I was about to say.
Yes. Last time I was a little melancholy last time I saw you. So
yeah,
I might be able to stick around, give me a hug real quick.
Okay, we're going to definitely do that, huh? Mark, you got anything else you want to say before we sign off for tonight?
Yeah, actually, I got a real quick WTF for you, and I want to do this with Jana on because I got a question for her afterwards.
Okay.
I hope you can see the screen, Jana, because there is visual aids here.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Okay, hold on.
Me too. Let me pull this up.
Okay. I don't know about, visual aids. Okay, wait.
So a couple weekends ago there at Oriole Park, Oriole Park is one of those unique Major League ballparks that allows people to bring in their own food and drink. The last couple of years with the pandemic, that didn't happen, but they brought it back this year, which we all appreciate. And
wait, I can't see it.
Go ahead, Mark. You're gonna know what it is. Go ahead, Mark.
So let me bring up the second picture here. It hit Twitter. It was the talk of Facebook and Twitter all that weekend. It was about 2 weeks ago, I want to say. Some fine folks, they brought their own Ziploc bag full of spaghetti.
Yes, SpaghettiOs.
And
yes.
I'm kind of disappointed that it's fallen off, but almost instantly people were like, Orioles need to do a spaghetti day at the park. So I want to know, what's the odds of doing a spaghetti day at the park?
I will gladly suggest it because you know what? I'm not even going to lie. My first thought was, why isn't, number one, this something that we potentially sell? Why isn't there a partnership between Orioles and Campbell's for SpaghettiOs? Because they could do some sort of, how like Old Bay does limited edition, this, that, and the third. To me, it's the same like Campbell's doing a limited edition Orioles SpaghettiO.
Yes.
My mind went crazy when I saw that, and I was like, okay. But I don't know the inner workings of the teams and their sponsorships and things like that. So, but I definitely, now that I have verbalized it out loud, because I didn't even say it, it was just kind of floating around in my head. Now that we are discussing it, I will be more than happy to send an email and see what happens. But yeah, because I sent it to a couple of people with the catering staff. I was like, oh my God, did y'all see this? And they were like, no, that's dope. But then it just looks like, oh, okay, that's cool, and on to the next thing. So I'm wondering, could we get something going here? Like, could we get some limited edition videos?
There we go.
Yeah, hey, well, listen, if you manage to get that thing done, you gotta let us know. You definitely gotta let us know about that, man, 'cause that's just too freaking awesome. And you know what? Also, really quickly before we go, Mark, one more thing. Speaking of awesome, Jana, You ran your first 5K this weekend. Is that not? Is that right?
Yes, that is right. So I decided it was really weird. We won a Blue Cardinal call with a racing and timing company. Shout out to Blue Cheetah. And they were like, yeah, we have our Independence Day. Yeah, we're all blue animals. They were like, we have our Independence Day, 5K coming up. Why don't you guys come out? And I was like, what is the difference in me walking the stadium and walking 3, 5, 6 miles a game or an event versus a 5K? I manage 5Ks all the time. All it is when where I work is just the figure eight around the stadium. So I was like, well, what's the difference in me actually just doing it myself? So one of my coworkers was like, because Casey, God bless her, is like, I ain't running, I ain't walking, I'm not doing that. So she came out to support. But I got one of my coworkers, and I was like, and he's athletic, so it was right up his alley. And he was like, let's do it. So we started off running. And so just let me clarify. I did not run a 5K. I participated in a 5K. The verbiage is important because Jana can't run. For Jana's always said she ain't running unless somebody's chasing her. And
right.
Me, but I was trying not to be last. So we started off running, we ended running. In the middle there, we kind of jogged a little bit, but yeah, I got the bug, and I was trying so hard to beat your time. I was like, let me beat my first one and beat Keith's time, and I couldn't, and it's okay. She's training for your 10K, which I am going to cheer you on about, but I cannot participate with you because I will die. But yes, I am actually very happy to say I want to do another one. So,
okay, I hope to see you at the Baltimore Running Festival. What's up?
Girl, bye.
Actually,
actually, you know what? The 5K isn't probably that bad. I gotta check out the route.
Yes, they got a 5K too, man. Come on.
They do. It probably is.
You got to get out there. Yo, I'm so proud of you, yo. Congratulations, man. That's so awesome. And I had no idea. You just popped out there with it. I'm like, yo, what the hell did Jana tell me that she had time to prepare to do a 5K, girl? I mean, like, seriously. And let me just tell you, yeah, but I mean, I can kind of tell. I've been looking at your efforts, and like I said, you're looking like a bomb, girl. Looking like a bomb out there.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, El Boogie said that part.
I'm gonna catch up to you. I'm gonna be like you. So I'm gonna follow in your footsteps. It's gonna take me a minute, but I'm following your footsteps.
Hey, that's what's up. Well, listen, you guys, that's all we got for tonight. You know how we end this show. Baltimore spread love, yo. We are still in a pandemic, and I need everybody to continue to wash your hands and wash that ass. Hey, listen, man, I'm Keisha. I'm Keisha. On the other end of that line is Mark and my baby girl, Jana. And we are all saying good night and have a great week. This is Just a Bit Outside. Peace.